Welcome to Nugg Talk.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Nugg Talk, a weekly podcast where we talk about everything going on in the NBA and, more importantly, everything going on with your Denver Nuggets. I'm your host, Loki, here once again with my co-host, Phil. Phil, what's up?
What's up?
Nothing much. It's going to be a somber podcast.
It really is.
Very unfortunate, but we will talk about it. Yesterday, the passing of Kobe Bryant and his daughter and 7 other people?
Yes,
8?
7 other people.
7 other people happened towards like the afternoon during lunchtime. If you're in the Colorado area, it was very shocking, very unfortunate news to hear. I still can't believe he's gone.
Yeah, it still hasn't quite like set in, I guess.
So rest in peace with everyone involved. Prayers out to all the families and things like that.
Thoughts and prayers to all the families.
I think the most messed up thing is there was kids on the plane.
Yeah,
including his daughter.
There were 3 kids on the plane on a helicopter.
So that's messed up. But we'll talk about Kobe a little bit. I mean, if you've heard this podcast for your short period of time that you heard it, you probably have heard me say mean things to Kobe and know that I don't like Kobe Bryant. I was never a fan. It's very hard to be a fan of Kobe Bryant if you were a Nugget fan growing up during his time. Mainly because he would fuck us up a lot.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of because he was just that good.
Yeah, he was really good. I never didn't think he was a good player. I always knew he was a good player. He was a legendary player, second best shooting guard of all time. I knew all of that stuff. But growing up as a kid, you don't think about that stuff. You just hate that some guy is, doing an underbite or buying his jersey and scoring buckets on Carmelo or Chauncey or Allen Iverson or any iteration of Nuggets you really want to pick out. He beat us all. But the guy is a legend. He's the second best shooting guard of all time. He's basically the closest thing we'll ever get to Michael Jordan. Created Mamba mentality. He meant a lot to the game. As we saw yesterday with all the players who reacted, a lot of people grew up in his time frame of playing, watching him play, so he was their idol. A lot of people were really sad about it. My brother's idol was Kobe. He was really sad about it. He was in tears. He meant a lot to people. He brought a lot to the game, especially on like the preparation side and things along that lines. I would think the closest person to him that Colorado people would get for like preparation wise is he's basically like he would be like Peyton Manning.
Yeah, or like John Elway, yeah.
Yeah, like he thought, like he did a lot of film research. He's studied ref angles, all these random little things that you would think of. He knew everything about it.
He's like the most winning. He's probably I think he is the most winningest LA athlete, isn't he?
I mean, yeah, I think so for the most part. And then most people would say he's the best person to ever play for the Lakers. Yeah, it was really sad to see him pass. Not one of my favorite memories, but 2 memories that really stick in my head whenever I think of Kobe. One is in the Western Conference Finals. We were up or we were tied in I think it was game 4 or 3. And he's at the 3-point line. Melo's on him. We're like low-key double teaming him. Shot's going down. He's definitely not going to pass the ball. He shoots over Melo, knocks down a 3. Basically wins that game. The camera pans over to him. He just has a fucking underbite.
Yeah.
And he looks like he just destroyed us. Like he bit us. It was crazy. That image just stuck in my brain forever. Another thing is when the year after, or the year during, I assume actually, when we traded Carmelo and we got Gallo and Wilson Chandler and Raymond Felton, we took those guys into playoffs. We went to game 7. It was a very hard fought series. But throughout it, George Karl would only guard Kobe Bryant. He would tell every other player to help on Kobe and not help on his teammates because he wouldn't pass, as has always been a knock on Kobe. And then when we lost, he went up to George Karl and he said, "You thought I wouldn't trust those guys," because he kept passing the ball to Steve Blake or Pau Gasol and they kept scoring on us, and it actually wasn't Kobe. That's another thing I remembered. So basically, Kobe's a very good competitor. Sad to see him go. It's
really tragic the way it happened too.
Yeah, that's the main thing that's messed up. I always thought like these athletes are invincible.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of think these athletes are invincible, and then when you, I think it's very sobering, especially in this case because of how big of a following he had. Like, so many people think Kobe Bryant is the greatest basketball player of all time, and like whether you agree with that or not, like that's the kind of influence he had, and it kind of like shook the sports world yesterday, and it was very yeah, it was shocking. It was very shocking.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't like Kobe, and whether you like him or not, that doesn't matter for that day because he's still a human being at the end of the day. His daughter's still a human being. Everyone on the plane is. It was tragic. It's really messed up that happened. It's unfortunate. I still can't believe people played NBA games yesterday. We were included in that. There's the clip of Jamal finding out, and Jamal's a huge Kobe fan, and Will finding out, and they looked distraught. Everyone kind of looked distraught. Even Jokic talked about it. LeBron came out crying off the plane.
Kyrie didn't play in his game.
Jason Tatum sat out. It was big. It was basically losing, like, I don't know.
Like for a lot of these players, it's like losing an older brother or like a father figure.
Yeah,
so
father figure, older brother, idol. I don't know, Mount Rushmore figure for just some people. There was a lot.
Best friend sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's very sad, and it's just also kind of crazy how, like, the timing of it, too, how it happened.
Yes.
The day after LeBron passed him in scoring. Yeah.
Yeah, which definitely probably has LeBron feeling some type of way because he probably talked to him literally the night before.
Yeah, and it should be noted as we are recording this, the Lakers-Clippers game was supposed to happen in about 20 minutes, but they postponed it.
Yes, which I think is right. Because
yeah, for sure.
I'm sure that a lot of people in the Laker organization aren't feeling good.
Or actually, that would have been tomorrow, but they postponed it. Yeah.
Still, but LeBron's not feeling good. LeBron still hasn't made a comment about it.
Yeah, he hasn't said it's a thing.
So it's probably weighing really heavily on him. He has not said anything about it. Shaq said a comment about it. He would probably hit him really hard too, just because of the history they have. Yeah. Friends, teammates, not friends, friends again. But yeah, it's weird that he's gone. But his mentality will always, stick in the NBA. Everyone has the Mamba mentality or wants to think they have it, at least. And I think that's something that will never go away.
And that's kind of how Jokic reasoned playing yesterday. He's like, we just have to go out there and have that Mamba mentality and like play the game that like Kobe played,
Yeah, I think he would want people to play. But I think it's so crazy that people did play.
Yeah, and it's kind of impressive for especially like obviously like Kyrie and Jason didn't play, but there's also a lot of guys who were really good friends with Kobe and they played.
Yeah, Carmelo was one of them. A lot of people like that. So very sad day in the NBA. Also news on it. They just immediately today put him into the Hall of Fame. Basically, like he's not in it, but like once they do the ballots, he's already in.
He'll be in, and it's not like he wasn't going to get in.
Yeah, he was going to get in anyways. But they just went ahead and just said, yeah, he's going to get in. He deserves it. So he's already a Hall of Famer. It's very disappointing also for his daughter. Looked like she was going to have a very promising WNBA career. Was probably going to go to UConn. UConn actually did something where they all wore pregame jerseys with her name on the back. So that's very nice. And, anyone else also in that flight, even though they're not famous, it's unfortunate that they passed as well. So prayers out to them and rest in peace to everyone.
Yeah, rest in peace to everyone involved. Very sad.
But yeah, so we're not going to do really any other news just because I feel like it's kind of disrespectful. So we're just going to talk about the games.
Yeah, we're just going to move on to basketball now, just like Kobe would have wanted us to. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a shorter podcast than usual, but we're just going to talk about the games. And it's a weird one. It's hard to record this one.
Yeah,
I wasn't even a huge fan, but it's still hard to record just because it's so weird.
Like Nuggets fans don't like the Lakers or their players, and this just like it really. We were both super shook yesterday. So
yeah. I mean, even our stadium was like it
was silent,
a moment of silence, but then bursted out into Kobe chants, and I never thought I would ever hear that from non-Laker people in a Pepsi Center. So. Good job on our fans for that. So
I mean, honestly, shout out to the whole NBA for the way that they've really
violations, 24-second violations.
Yeah, all of that stuff. Yeah, it's really cool. And also I think it's the Pistons and their warm-ups. They were all wearing custom Kobe Bryant jerseys.
Yeah, they're wearing number 8s.
Yeah, and
number 24s. Trae Young wore number 8 yesterday for part of his game. I think someone suggested that Team LeBron wear number 8, Team Giannis all wear number 24.
Which I have a feeling is going to happen.
I'm sure they'll do something along those lines. People would petition for him to be the logo, all these types of things.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of stuff. I'm sure he's going to get a patch on jerseys, which he would deserve.
Yeah, he'll get something like that. He'll get a huge thing on like the Lakers jersey in the court probably too.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, so now we'll talk about the games. Our first game, we actually did way better than we expected.
We did.
Granted, both you and I did not think Gary Harris was going to come back as soon as he did.
No way.
He was back for the Pelican game. He was not back for this Rocky game. Also in this Rocky game, we were without MPJ, who experienced back tightness. He has let it known that it was just a precautionary thing. It wasn't anything that serious. He's fine. But I think a nice story about it was before the game, like during pre-game warm-ups or just like pre-game festivities, like really early before the game started, he went up to Malone. He said, "Sorry, coach. Like my back's not feeling that great. Like, is it okay if I sit out? Like, sorry, I don't feel like I didn't want to tell you and stuff like this." And then Malone basically said, "No, it's okay. I want you to tell me about things like that. I want you to feel comfortable to talk about your health and let me know where you're at." So I think that was a really cool moment.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Between those two, because again, we don't want to be risky with MPJ, especially when it comes to his back.
So anything back related, I want to be extra careful with.
And either way, I think everyone knew we were going to lose this game.
Yeah.
We lost pretty badly. It was 121-105. Harden did play this one. Westbrook played this one. Westbrook kicked our butt. He had 28 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists. James Harden added 27. MVP for this, I guess, is Jokic.
Yeah, he got a triple-double, but it wasn't a great performance, but it was a tough.
It's a tough game. No one really played. We didn't have Gary. We didn't have Paul. We didn't have Mason, who's now out for 2 to 4 weeks. MPJ was out unexpectedly. Jamal's still out. But yeah, I mean, otherwise though, bright sides from this that we can take out. PJ played really well in this game. He had 15. He's not fully there yet, but you see flashes that he'll take over Monte's spot.
Yeah, you can see as he continues to learn, there's going to be a really solid player from him. So
his jump shot's busted.
Yeah, it is pretty busted.
I thought it was good like the first couple games. No, it's busted. He got to fix it. It doesn't look bad. He just needs to make it more.
Yeah.
Jeremy played really well. Jeremy's been playing really well. We'll get into it more in the other Rocket game, but he had 17 in this, 2 of 4 from 3, 7 of 17. He's definitely the replacement, I think, now for sure for Paul.
Oh yeah, he's playing so well in his. Imagine where we would be without Jeremy Grant right now.
Yeah, we'd be pretty fucked up because he's actually a lot better defensively than I thought too. Mainly because he gets all of our blocks. Yeah, I don't think anyone else gets our blocks. Every now and then, Gary here, Plumlee there, but I think Jeremy gets consistently like 1 a game now, which is awesome to see. Will had a very tough game on this one. Torrey actually played really well in this one.
Yeah, Torrey did play really well in this one.
He had 14 points on 6 of 10 shooting, 7 rebounds. Again, Jokic triple-double. The rest of the bench, except for Malik and PJ, played like crap. Also, on that note, Malik has been playing really fucking well.
Yeah, he has been playing really well as of late. Which is kind of a bummer, but I guess, hey, increase that trade value.
Well, that was the thing I was going to mention. With all the injuries that have come up now, we're not going to probably make a trade.
Malik's probably going to be here all season. So.
All these guys are going to be here all season. We're just going to have to shorten down on the rotation, which means probably taking out Wancho, which, again, I still don't know why he got 14 minutes. I get it. We were injured, but that was a lot. But once we get down to it, like near playoffs, it's going to be starting lineup, MPJ, Monte, Plumlee, and Jeremy. Those are the 9.
Wow, so not Malik, you don't think?
I mean, here or there, depending on the matchup. But you usually run 9. So
yeah.
But Malik will help out a lot throughout the season because he has increased his play. But again, with the likelihood of how injured we are, it doesn't make sense for us to make a trade because we're really relying on this depth as of right now. So don't expect us to really be heavily involved in this year's trade deadline, which is kind of unfortunate. I kind of want it to be, but injury bug hit us at the wrong time.
Yeah, it really did. This is not great timing for that, but It's okay.
Is there anything else you got for at least this Rockets game? I mean, the main thing is, like, we still lost the rebounding battle, which, again, always alludes to a loss. They hit more threes than us, which never helps.
Yeah, I don't really have anything. Yeah, just a bad performance in a really difficult place to play with half a team. So
yes. And, again, we're probably always going to lose in Houston. We haven't won in Houston for 5 years, I think. Maybe 4. We've lost like 8 in a row there. So if you expected us to win this, that was very high hopes. But it's fine. You know, you don't win them all. Luckily, we won the next 2. And we'll talk about the second one. The game against the Pelicans, it was Zion's second game. Zion played very well in it. He's not really on a minute restriction, but they keep saying he is. But he played a lot of minutes in that game.
He played 20 minutes against us. Seems like they've been ramping up his minutes every game because yesterday he played 27 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think they're slowly increasing the minutes every game, or fastly, depending on how quickly he should be brought along. But yeah, Zion played really well in this game.
Yeah, he had 15 points, 7-9 shooting, 6 rebounds. He played really well. He had a nasty ass block on Malik. Sent it into the rafters. It was insane. It was a very good block. But we got the dub, and that's all that fucking matters. MVP, definitely Jokic.
Yeah, definitely Jokic.
He had 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. Also almost shot 50% from the field. He still shot 1 of 6 from 3, but it's fine.
It's fine.
Other people who played well were Michael Porter, Monte, and Malik played well off the bench. There's a couple stars who played well. Phil, who was
Jeremy played really well.
Who's that small forward who played well, though?
Oh, Torrey Craig played very well in this game.
Wow.
It was his best game of his career. But probably wasn't.
But you said Torrey can't shoot threes.
Well, he made threes in this game, and then we'll get right back to why everything regresses back to the mean. We'll get to that. But yeah, no, Torrey was really good. We probably wouldn't have won this game without him.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. Gary Harris still isn't quite shooting well, but I'm thinking and hoping he'll bounce back.
Yeah, he just came back from injury, so
yeah,
hopefully at some point.
I actually like how he played against the Rockets yesterday, despite the fact he didn't take many shots, but we'll get to that.
Jeremy did play very well. Jeremy's been good this whole past month. He's been really good. Will Barn picked it back up. Didn't shoot really well, but he played decently. Again, I don't know why Juancho got minutes. I don't know why Vanderbilt got minutes. It was limited.
I think it's because we were so far ahead at one point, and then they started coming back on us, and then
I mean, I watched this actually for everyone at home. If you don't know, Phil has a VR set.
Oh,
I got to watch this on VR. It's a very weird experience because you like see it from courtside and then under the basket, like they keep changing back and forth. It's really cool, but it's really weird at the same time. But seeing it, you can see a lot of things in between the games that you can't really see because like you're behind the basket, so you can see like when they're driving in. One thing I noticed was our interior defense is terrible when it comes to people doing Euro steps. Everyone can Euro step on us. That happened quite a lot. Another thing that I just noticed that was really funny, I want people to know on the podcast, was around the time that Malone got ejected and Jeremy picked up his technical, for them not calling calls that they would call on the other side, things around that. Drew Holiday went to the line for his free throws after all the technical stuff. He missed his first one, and then Jeremy went, ha! And I thought that was amazing. But yeah, Malone did get ejected from this. That was also something that was in this, and that's also kind of why we lost part of that lead for a little bit, because I think we got a little rattled.
Yeah, probably.
But MPJ played great. His stats don't look good. The guy took some dumbass shots and he made it. It was amazing. I don't know. For the rest of it, like we shut down Ingram for once, and that's been something you've always harped on.
Yeah, I think that's more credit to Torrey and maybe a little bit of Gary too. But yeah, Brandon Ingram had a pretty bad game, which is like the first time in his career against us. So probably not actually, but you know,
first time in his Pelican career against us for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Drew Holiday also played really bad. He didn't make a single three. JJ Redick screwed us over, but when does JJ Redick not screw us over? He's just too good to not.
Yeah, I would love JJ Redick on my team.
But the thing that was actually really important in this, and again, we harp back in onto it, we won the rebound battle 56-45. But at like one point, we were up like 15 offensive rebounds or something on them. We were crushing the offensive glass. And a lot of that, I'm going to give to Torrey.
Yeah, Torrey is a rebounding fiend.
Torrey gets a shit ton of offensive rebounds.
You got 10 rebounds in this game.
Yeah, and a lot of those were offensive. Michael Porter, also amazing at rebounding, had a double-double. And he gets a lot of offensive rebounds too. And then, you know what Yoke does. So
yeah. We out offensive rebounded them 24-12.
Yeah, it was a lot. We were up by a shit ton. I really appreciated that. Again, this was another game where we had a really big lead and then we kind of blew it. But again, I blame this one more on losing Malone because he kind of lost his cool, and he shouldn't have lost his cool. There was no reason to get ejected or give them those 2 free throws at that time because that's when they were also kind of pulling back. So that was kind of on Malone for the most part. But hey, at least Gary came back for this one. We kind of starting to get a little bit more healthier. After this, they talked about it. They said closest one to come back next is going to be Jamal.
But I bet he's weeks away.
They said he could be back soonish.
Hope so.
Plumlee's far out, and Millsap's far out. Millsap's like really far out. They don't say anything about Millsap.
Yeah, I don't think Millsap's going to be back for a while.
I don't know if we're just saving him for the playoffs. I don't get it. I feel like he should get some run.
I don't know. I feel like this is Millsap's last year with the Nuggets officially now. I don't think they're going to bring him back
unless he takes a pay cut.
But even then, I don't think they were going to want him to be our starting power forward.
That's what I'm saying. Pay cut and spot change.
That would be cool. But something that is also notable in this game is that we went 20 for 20 from the line, which is pretty awesome. I don't actually know how good we are at free throws this year.
We're terrible at free throws this year. We're around 74%, I think, as a team.
We're actually at 77.5, so 14th in the league, which isn't where you want to be, really. But 20 for 20, you make your free throws, usually translates to wins. So.
The most impressive thing about that, too, is our best free throw shooter was out, so that's even more impressive. But yeah, overall, great game. We played good D for the most part. Zion kind of fucked us up. Our main issue was just JJ Redick. We couldn't really guard him, but hey, we closed it out at the end, and Will Barton was kind of clutch at the end too. So we'll take it as we go. But yeah, so that was that game. We won that one as Phil said we would. I said we would lose, but I didn't think we would have Gary Harris. And then we get to the game that was affected by the tragedy. Very weird game. Even to watch.
It was really weird to watch. Everyone was you could kind of feel that, it kind of felt like, especially in the beginning, everybody was kind of just going through the motions.
Yeah.
I think the energy started to pick up more and more as the game went along, but even then, it was just weird.
It was just a weird game because, in the stadium, I feel like it must have been even weirder because, they obviously do, the stuff in between, like timeout presentations, halftimes, and stuff like that. And I think that just is weird for them, so I can't even imagine what it's like for those guys. But for us, just watching it, it was just weird.
It was just really strange because, you found out about what happened, and then, an hour later,
you got to play.
It was tip-off.
Yeah. We didn't do the 24-second, 8-second thing, but that's just because it wasn't a thing when we played. We were one of the first games.
We were the first game.
Yeah, so
they did a moment of silence, and
we did the moment of silence with Chan Kobe. But the game started. James Harden did not play. He was out with a thigh injury. Who knows if that was actually really a thigh injury or maybe he also just kind of sat out. I can't really tell.
I think he was out
Is
before.
that a real one?
They announced he wasn't going to play before the tragedy struck.
Okay, so then he was actually out. So he didn't play, so that helped us immensely. So we just had to kind of worry about Westbrook. So it was kind of playing like the old Thunder teams. So it made it a little bit more interesting. We won by 7 points, 117-110. MVP, I'm going to go with Jeremy because he had 25, 8 of 12, 3 of 3 shooting. This was definitely Jeremy's best game, as it was his career high. It was by far his best game he's had with the Nuggets.
Yeah, it was a great game. Yeah, I'll give it to him. Jokic triple-double, but that's kind of what you expect.
It's expected, yeah.
So, yeah, I'll give it to Jeremy, too. He was really solid. He missed four shots, made all his threes, all of his free throws. Very good game.
I think with Jeremy starring, and this is what I wanted to talk about earlier, you can really see the chemistry between him and Jokic growing. A lot of his scores came off of Jokic assists, whether they were full court passes after, Jeremy would like let him know he was going to like slip a screen, things like that. Like they're starting to build certain types of communication just off of like hand motions and like head nods, kind of similar to how he has with like Jamal and a little bit with Gary and Will. So he's starting to get that, and I think that's helping his game immensely because he's just getting easy buckets now, which then gets him in the flow, I think, to make those easy open 3-pointers. Because once you see the ball go in the hoop, it makes it a lot easier for you to make open shots.
Yeah, it's really nice to see him getting more involved in the offense, especially in the beginning when he was kind of just standing around. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things look when everyone's healthy. Now that like we're getting
back, kind of.
Yeah.
But other people play good. Again, Michael Porter Jr., another great game. 17 points off the bench, 4 of 6 from 3, 6 of 12. The kid just scores, man.
he can just score, and yeah, it's not going to be too much longer before he's going to be playing like, well, obviously, eventually he's going to be playing like 30 plus minutes a game, but if he keeps playing like this, he's gonna end up being like a Lou Will type, playing like 30 minutes off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, he played 24 this time, which was really good to see because, we always said he should get more minutes. Now, granted, his minutes are going to be a little inflated as of right now because of how injured we are, so he kind of has to play more. Because if you look at the other guys, Malik played 26. And Monte played 35, but the reason Monte played 35 is because we went with a starting lineup of Jeremy, Will, Torrey Craig, Nicola, and Gary Harris, which I actually like. Mm-hmm. I think that was a good starting lineup.
Is pretty solid as a point guard in general, even though he's not really getting the assists necessarily.
He at least pushes the offensive pace. He like at least forces the tempo, so I like that. I just think it was overall a decent thing to do that, and then Monte come in every now and then, and Monte played really well. 17 points. Main thing from him, 7 rebounds, which you don't expect from him. I mean, he's a big guard, but 7 rebounds is quite a lot. Mm-hmm. Malik had 10 points, played really well. Didn't shoot out hot, but again, this is what Malik is. He just has to come in and chuck up shots. Sometimes he makes them, sometimes he doesn't.
See what goes in, yeah.
PJ played a little bit, didn't do that hot, so he didn't play anymore.
PJ's not quite ready yet.
No, I think this game was the clear game to see that.
He's 6'6". He's
huge.
He's gigantic.
Dude, he was like he in the Pelican game after the game, they switched jerseys, him and Zion, because they're both from South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
And he's like almost the same height as Zion. I was like, is Zion shorter than we think he is? Because they look pretty similar.
That's crazy. That's really crazy.
But yeah, they were good friends. They switched jerseys. But in this game too, like Torrey didn't play that well either, but he played defense. He didn't shoot that well. It happens.
He never shoots well, except for 2 days ago.
He shot well in that Pelican game. Shut your mouth.
But Torrey's been, without Torrey, we also probably would be in some trouble. So I'm glad we have him. We'll see. Ask me in like a month whether or not I like Torrey when we're healthy.
At that point, hopefully he doesn't play anymore. Another thing about this, we actually lost the rebounding battle in this, but only by 2. So I think that's why we won this game. If we keep it at least close, or we win the rebounding battle, we're gonna win these games. I think that's a very key differentiator in Nuggets wins or losses, as seen by the stats. Also, one thing I really loved about this, and it kind of got helped because Nicola had 11 assists, but we got 28 overall as a team, and that's great. Usually, a team should shoot for like 30 assists in a game, like, an elite team. We had 28, so we were close. So I think that was really cool to see. And then 3-point shooting, it was we were around 40%. We were actually at 39%, but I like to round up because it makes it sound nicer. So we were at like 40%, shot almost 50% from the field. Again, rounding up, we were actually at 47%. It makes it sound nicer. But Gary, we can talk about him. He came back. He didn't play extraordinarily well, but he played good defense on Russell Westbrook. And I think that was the main thing that's important. And even in the Pelican game, he played good defense because he had a really big block on, I think it was Drew Holiday. So at least defensively, he's still there. I just don't know if offensively he'll ever really find it again. This game, he didn't play bad offensively. It kind of goes around what you were saying. He didn't shoot a lot.
Yeah.
but hopefully he figures it out. But yeah, from what was so told after this, obviously a lot of Kobe comments and stuff like that after the game. A lot of things going on with there. Jokic talking about, how great Kobe was. Will Barton posted a post after the game. Jamal posted a post on Instagram. A lot of guys talked about it. But just more for Nuggets focused things, they did ask, like I said, Malone about the injuries and who's coming back. They did say Jamal's the most likely to come back quicker than everyone else. Now, again, I think that's more because not only because the injury, but also just that's what Jamal's mindset. He's always going to want to play if he can. Plumlee's still probably not going to come back till after All-Star break, and I genuinely do not know when Millsap's coming back.
Yeah,
so.
who knows? I think it's possible that we might not see Millsap until towards the end of the season or playoffs.
Yeah, we probably won't see him till March, maybe. I don't know. They really haven't given a time frame on it. They say he's a whiles out, so I think he literally said it's going to be Jamal, then Mason probably, and then Millsap, which that's kind of crazy because Millsap does help quite a lot, even though Jeremy is filling in quite nicely.
What also is crazy is that he was the first one to get hurt too.
Yeah,
and he came back maybe for a little bit, and then he immediately went down again.
Well, like I said, this was a nagging knee issue that he knew of, and he didn't take care of. He should have got surgery for it sooner, beginning of the season, like he said he should have. So now we're just gonna have to deal with it. I think again the problems around swelling and water or some stuff in his knee. So they'll figure it out. I think as long as he's fine for the playoffs, that's all that matters. As long as we keep winning games, which we are. Currently, we are the 4th seed. I think, but tied for 3rd with the Clippers.
I think we are actually 3rd now. We have one less win than the Clippers.
Okay.
So yeah, we're 4th.
Yeah, so we're 4th. We're behind the Clippers and Utah.
It's basically a 3-way tie for 2nd though, because we have one more loss than the Jazz, and that's the only reason. That's the only thing that separates us from them.
Yeah.
So it's basically a 3-way tie for 2nd in the West right now. And Clippers and Lakers not playing tomorrow. Will help if we can win tomorrow.
Depending on when they postpone that game. That's the thing. I don't know if I'm assuming they're going to do it towards the end of the season now. Is when they're going to put that game.
Yeah, or maybe
it might be the season ending game because it's just kind of hard to find a time that fits within both of their schedules. I feel right away.
I suppose you could do it that Friday or Saturday at the beginning of the All-Star break.
That's a possibility too. I don't know. That's gonna be interesting to see.
Because it's not like either of them have to travel.
True. But one thing also with that is, luckily the Clippers have been kind of struggling as of late because of all their, I'll put air quotes around it because I don't know if it's real or not, chemistry issues apparently surrounding their star players and Kawhi and Paul George, with some of their other guys who are kind of the grit and grind guys. So that's something that's been helping us out. Unfortunately, Utah has been playing really fucking well and won't stop playing really well. They keep winning most of their games for the most part.
Yeah, they've only lost one game this month.
Yeah, most of the Pelicans because Brandon Ingram went off.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
We do play them soon, and we'll talk about that. And then the Lakers, I'm just going to say right now, and we talked about this, LeBron's going to be on a mission.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Lakers are going to go win a ring for Kobe this year. I'm not sure there's anything else the league can do about it.
Yeah, LeBron's going to be on a mission. I think that whole team's going to be on a mission to win it for Kobe. So don't be shocked if they go on a huge tear of wins and then tear it up in the playoffs. If he didn't have motivation, or that team in general didn't have motivation already to win a championship, you're sure as hell they do now. So
yeah.
Let's just avoid the Lakers for as long as we can in the playoffs, which means getting either the 2 or 3 seeds. So, but yeah, now we'll talk about the games we got coming up. I think our first game is against the Grizzlies, and that's tomorrow.
Yes.
We
got Grizzlies on tomorrow, Jazz on Thursday, Bucks on Friday,
and then Sunday is Detroit.
Sunday is Detroit.
Okay, so we'll talk about the Grizzlies first. Obviously, Ja is a big thing. I think I'm just going to say Ja for Jokic, whoever the best players plays better. But I think we should win this easily.
I think we should too.
Is it home or is it away?
It's away.
Okay, yeah, we should still win it easily. We beat them last time pretty easily there. So I'm not too worried about that one. We've already beat them twice this year. Shouldn't be that tough of a game as long as we can keep kind of jaw in check and we can keep Valanciunas and so forth and Jaren Jackson Jr. not like to pop off. So I'll say win for that. What do you say?
I say win.
Okay. And then the next one, I forgot already what you said.
Thursday
it's
against
the Jazz.
The Jazz at home.
Okay, this is now the biggest game of the year because I'm expecting this to most likely either be our second round matchup. So either we're going to play these guys or we're going to play the Clippers, in my opinion. So this is a very big second round playoff preview. They haven't lost really, like we talked about. They've only lost to the Pelicans when Brandon Ingram popped off. It's at home. It's going to be a huge game. Gobert versus Jokic, definitely a key matchup because Gobert's been playing extremely well as of late. I'm going to say we win in a nail biter. I'm not going to say Jokic game winner. I'm not going to do that. That's only for the Mavericks.
I'm going to say we lose this one.
Wow, Phil.
I just think it's just awful timing for us to have to play like the biggest game of the season without two starters. So
I think the other guys are going to pop off. I feel like they really want to prove a point because if people remember, these two teams hate each other, even though they haven't really met each other that much, except for like the divisional games. But like, I mean, this is a big game. We haven't lost to a divisional opponent, and they've only lost once, I think, to a divisional opponent.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. I hope we win. I'm still going to say L, but I hope I'm wrong.
And then the next game is the Bucks
on the second night of a back-to-back.
Yeah, we're going to lose that.
We're going to lose this also.
Giannis is going to kick our ass. Giannis also got very affected by the COVID thing. He deleted all his social media. So if anything, he's more focused now than he ever probably has been. So, I think we're going to lose this pretty badly. Unless Jokic really pops off and is like on par with whatever Giannis does or better than whatever Giannis does. So
we basically need like a 40 piece from Jokic to win this game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because it's in Milwaukee, right? Yeah, that's going to be tough. Going from playing a game in Denver, flying to Milwaukee, and then playing. That's going to be...
Especially after, like we just said, like the biggest game of the season. So
yeah, so that's going to be a tough one. So I think that's definite L. And then we'll play Detroit. See, this is one of those games where I'm like... This is one of those ones where we'll probably blow in. Sub 500 team, kind of in the hunt for playoffs. Not really. They're mainly selling their pieces like Derrick Rose and Andre Drummond. They would sell Blake Griffin, but he has a knee injury. But see, like that just makes me think that that'd be a game where we fly in, we're tired, and we just don't care, and we might lose. I'm going to say win, but I'm not very confident about that one just because history has not boded well for us with sub 500 teams.
I'm going to say win as well. But yeah, there's always that concern. But yeah, I'll say win for this.
All right.
So I have us going 2-2, and you have us going 3-1.
So we'll see how it goes. 2-2, I'd take as long as it's against the right teams. 3-1 would be amazing. Just because I expect it, but still be amazing. 4-0, unbelievable. Really doubt it.
If you find a way to beat the Bucks, it would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, so. If you lose to the Jazz but somehow beat the Bucks, I'll be even happier somehow.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so that's everything that we want to cover this week. Next week, actually, let me make sure.
Yeah, next week. Then the game after that is Tuesday.
Well, I'm trying to see when. Yeah, the podcast will come out next week before that game.
We played Detroit at like 10 a.m. on Sunday.
What date is that?
That is February. Oh, that's the Super Bowl. So yeah, we'll probably record on Monday then.
But what date is it?
The second.
The second. Okay, so our next episode will be the trade episode.
Oh right, yeah.
So that's going to be quite a long one. So buckle in, Phil.
I'm ready.
We're going to talk about all things trade, not just Nuggets related, because mainly there's nothing Nuggets related. Mm-hmm. We'll still talk about some ideas that were sent over, but there's really nothing we're going to do at the trade deadline. So it's mainly going to be talking about what other teams are going to do and how it could affect us. So we'll talk about potential trades and things like that. Again, if you have anything that you guys think of, feel free to send it in on the comments, and we'll talk about it. Doesn't even have to be Nuggets related anymore. Just toss in anything you want us to talk about, we'll do it. So yeah, we'll talk about that. We won't talk about the Super Bowl because who cares? And I mean, no one likes Kansas City on this. Whoever's listening to this doesn't like Kansas City.
Yeah.
You think the Serbians care about Mahomes?
No.
I don't think so. No one in Denver does either. So, but yeah, so that's everything for us this week. We'll talk to you guys next week. So please make sure to, if you like the podcast, like the episode, subscribe, leave a comment, tell a friend. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week.
Go Nuggets.